Hello, folks. My name is Detroit Miracle, and I am here to talk about the value of votes. Meaning, everyone tries to act like votes are so valuable in society. Yeah, and votes only accumulate up to one per person. And even if a great many number of people are on the same accord, they still have to vote someone in because those votes on their own individually ain't worth too much. Yeah, so you have to get an accumulation of votes and do something with those votes in order for them to be valuable. I know people are talking about, but people have died and fought for the rights to vote and all of that. Hey, people, all of that's an illusion because votes aren't worth too much or they're not worth anything at all. Let me give you all an example of where I'm coming from. How many of you have known someone to just give you something of great value? Just think about that. Take a few moments. Yeah, people. Do you know people personally that have came up to you and just handed you a gold bar or a diamond gemstone? How many people could recall that, where just out of nowhere someone approached them and handed them something incredibly valuable? Yeah, people, it doesn't work that way. No one just gives you something of great value that's worth an incredible a lot of a sum if it is valuable that way. Why would you give away something that's incredibly valuable and to so many people? Now, getting with votes, there's 350 plus million people in America, and some of them are children. Yeah, and children can't vote, but they will eventually be able to vote. And we know convicts can't vote, or ex-cons, but aside from them, there's at least a couple of 100 million people that can vote and have the right to vote because they are registered. Now, people, that voting stuff has as much to do with registration and census, and in fact, it has more to do with census and registration than anything else. It's to let the government know how many people are there in America, and it lets the government know how many people are gullible enough to think that their votes actually mean something. Yeah. When that great many number of people go out and vote in the hundreds of millions, it is an indication that those grown people are dependent upon someone else. And it also indicates that that great number of persons are incredibly dependent upon the governing bodies of society rather than them being dependent upon themselves as individual people in society. Yeah. People, many of you do not know what's going on behind the scenes, but you need only think, use your mind, and apply logic. If that voting stuff was really worth something, then look how many black people have the right to vote and are voting. But nevertheless, it seems like us black folks are pushed to the back burner and we're regarded as second-class citizens, despite the fact that we have the right to vote if many of us don't have criminal records or haven't been in jail or something like that, or if black people aren't children. So all these grown black folks and Hispanic folks and etc. can vote, but nevertheless, there's still racial inequality, racial division as such. I'm just putting an emphasis on that. If your votes was incredibly valuable, and that means everybody of the lower class and the middle class, then everybody equally will be treated as first and foremost of a class. Yeah. And you think poor people and their votes matter as much as rich people's votes do? Think about it. If those votes were incredibly valuable, then every poor person would be equal to every rich person based on their right to vote, and in how their vote can change things around dramatically or slowly. You see where I'm coming from, people? You have to think about these things. You have to stop being a slave, stop being a programmed drone, stop acting like a robot. Learn to think for yourself. Learn to provide for yourself. Learn to do for yourself. Learn to think for yourself. Yeah, people. I know I hit you all with something very heavy to think about, and that was my intention. Well, I'd appreciate it if everyone would drop those comments, likes, and up those subscriptions to Detroit Miracle.